morning. Today I am here at Geo Growers in Dripping Springs, and we are going to talk all things soil today. So George Altgelt started this company 25 years ago, and he has been the guru of soil amending for over 25 years. And today I have Justin with me, and Justin has also been here for many years. He's also worked at the Natural Gardener with John Dromgoole. He is a wealth of information, and he is going to first of all give us a quick tour of the facility and what is going on here and how you can get your soil too. And then he's also going to talk to us about what to put in your raised beds. So let's get started and let's let Justin give us a tour.
All right, so going along here, we've got the Thunder Dirt. And then after the Thunder Dirt, we've got the Turf Topper. Great for putting on top of lawns, great for when you're putting down sod, fantastic. Then here we've got the Thunder Garden Soil, which is our best blend that's got the most mixed into it. It's got the most nutrition.
This is why people drive all the way out to Dripping Springs.
You're supposed to be able to plant in this and garden for 2 years and not have to add any amendments to it.
Wow.
Is the goal.
I will be coming home with bags of this for sure. And you can bag your own or bring your truck.
You can bag this, and we're working on getting it more widely distributed in pre-bagged bags.
Great. I really can't wait for that. All right. And so this is compost.
This is a soil blend. So it's got compost, a good bit of compost as a component. I think it works out to be about maybe 30–40%. I'm not 100% certain, but somewhere around that range. And then, you know, some other components, some fertilizers and stuff that, you know, give you the extra bump of nutrition you need.
Right. But it's got that wonderful drainage.
Yes, drains very nicely,
And
but it's very rich as well.
I had a big load of this from a different landscape supply. They said it was their wonderful raised bed mix, and it was terrible because it would not drain. You could water all day, and it only was going down an inch, the water. So I wasn't getting good moisture, but it looks like this, you've taken care of that with
definitely
this soil.
See, as you dig in the pile, you can see it's dark and moist, darker and moist, you know.
It accepts moisture.
It holds together, but, you know, breaks up enough that, you know, I mean, water and air moving through the soil is so important. If you don't have water and air moving through the soil, your plants can't eat, they can't drink, they can't do anything. So
absolutely,
that's key.
I wish I had known about you guys before I started all those raised beds years ago. Now let's go back over to the Thunder soil. We walked by it quickly. We know this one is for grass.
The Turf Topper for grass. The Thunder Dirt actually works great for putting down sod as well. Thunder Dirt is it's a more economical option. It doesn't have as much of the fertilizers and other amendments mixed in with it, but it does use compost as a component and grows stuff. I mean, we had a gentleman come in this morning that told me he's got a zucchini that's like this big from growing in the Thunder Dirt that he just got this year.
Okay.
And he said it's going to be terrible to eat, but he said I'm just saving it to see how big it'll get because it's such a novelty. So yeah, people definitely use it for vegetable gardening and, you know, kind of do their own amendments.
Right. Okay, so here's my big question. I have built up a little area here in my backyard. This is actually at Geo Growers. This is his backyard. And I have my very crummy, limestoney soil, high alkaline. I've gone through with my fork and my shovel, and I've tried to dig out the rock, all the rock in the area. And now I want to plant native Texas perennial plants who really like limestone soil. What do you think I need to add to our creamy soil for our native plants?
Well, adding thunder dirt is a really nice option because, breaking up clay soils or tough soils, you want to have compost, definitely, that's number one. But then if you have an aggregate material that can break up that clay and provide some more drainage, that works so nicely. And when you got those two together, it's like a 1-2 punch. So really nice for native plants because it doesn't have too much nutrition, which they can be resentful of, but it's got enough that they're going to be able to grow and they're going to be happy.
So how many inches would you put on top of just really limestoney, alkaline rich soil?
That's a really good question. I would say if you could shoot for getting 3 to 5 inches, that would be most ideal.
And then soil, like dig that in?
You could dig it in. You could, conversely, if you're doing just single plantings, you could backfill the hole with thunder dirt.
So you don't have to do so much work.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Then you got a nice little cushion there for your plants that you're transplanting to get started off with.
And then, of course, following up with your mulch.
Yes, and then you definitely want mulch. You don't have to, but it conserves water and it keeps weeds out. And that's, what we're trying to battle all the time.
Okay, second question. So now let's say I want to plant a garden of vegetables. What do you recommend for a vegetable garden?
Now, for a vegetable garden, you got to remember vegetables are like the Olympic athletes of plants. They need lots of nutrition because they grow very fast, or that's what we hope for at least. So the Thunder Garden has a lot more added nutrition in it that, native plants are kind of like take it or leave it. They don't really like it that much, but when you use it in a garden setting or with, vegetables, any type of fruiting, flowering plant, you've got all the components there to give you really nice fruit set, blooming, the whole 9 yards, and just overall nice garden.
So let's say we have a do-it-yourselfer who wants to make their own blend, and they put their tarp down. What are they going to do?
I'd have to say that's totally me. What I do to amend my own gardens, if I'm building a new garden, if your soil is diggable enough, you can get a shovel in, even if as long as it's not solid rock. You can amend with compost, you can amend with quarter-minus decomposed granite, expanded shale, gypsum. These are all components that can help break up that soil without you having to haul bags back and forth from here, or at least not as many bags. So, composted cattle manure is fantastic, but any type of compost works fantastic for this.
But this particular composted cow manure is really special. Why?
Yes, so this comes from dairy cows specifically, and they're all grass-fed. So that means they've been munching on alfalfa, natural grasses, all the good stuff. And then also, it's not going to have any kind of herbicidal component or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. It's something we have to be concerned with. All manure is not the same. It depends highly on the cow's diet, which, basically ends up determining the compost. So you need to be very careful about where you source your compost from. But when you have good compost, best thing for breaking up clay, number one place to start. Then you want to start thinking about some aggregates, like maybe some quarter-minus decomposed granite, maybe a little granite sand, maybe some expanded shale. And then if you want additional breaking up of the soil, gypsum can be fantastic for that. For an existing garden that you kind of want to bring back to life, compost is the number one place to start. If you can work a few inches, work some in the top few inches of soil, it will revitalize everything. Apply fresh mulch, of course that helps. Liquid molasses is something I always like to keep around my garden.
Yes, this is very exciting. This molasses, we're going to talk just a few minutes about molasses. What is this?
Got so many nutritional components that are great for plants. It's got A vitamins, B vitamins, amino acids. It's got a lot of sugars that are the sugars that you want for plants and that are healthy for plants. It also feeds all the microbiology in the soil. So anytime you apply this, you're kind of recharging your microbes that you have in there. And if you don't have any, you're bringing some new ones along because it actually actively attracts the microbes.
Right.
So,
and then this, you want to be careful when you use this, right?
Yes.
Maybe not in the
so
part of the...
With the manure, yeah, when we start getting above 90 degrees pretty consistently, if you're applying this, you want to make sure you do it in the cooler part of the day. So, morning is most ideal. Sometimes it's still pretty steamy in the afternoons. So morning is best. And then the main thing is you want to make sure you spread it out pretty nicely and then you water it in really well. Watering in will help it settle in. It'll help pass off some of the nutrition to the plants right away. And also you're not going to run the risk of burning.
Right. Now the molasses, you can use that anytime.
Molasses you could use anytime. It's wonderful stuff. To be totally honest, when I'm using it, I don't even use a measuring cup to mix it, If it goes a little over or a little under, not super concerned about it.
Directions on the side of the
Generally, it's
jug.
like an ounce or a couple of ounces per gallon of water. But it's quite economical. I think it's around $13 for a gallon.
Yeah.
Which compared to, I thought at first, well, I'll go to the grocery store and that'll save me money. No, and the molasses pours too slow. You can't use it. Okay. This stuff pours like a liquid, much easier to use. And like I said, very economical product as well.
And one other thing about the composted cow manure, this does not have weeds in it, right?
Yes, so it's been through the composting process, and yeah, that composting process actually eliminates the majority of the weed seeds when you're dealing with a good supplier. The main thing is not the cattle manure, the fact that it's composted. You want to make sure what you're getting says composted.
Right.
If you get straight cattle manure, straight any kind of manure, you're going to have problems with burning, definitely. So you want to make sure there's a compost component to it, definitely. One of the benefits of this, I think, is that, if it's a cool morning and you start digging into this pile, you see smoke come up because it's composting. Okay. It's biologically active. That steam is from that.
It's got all that carbon and organic material, so it's working, it's alive.
Exactly. So if you want something that has even more of a living component to it, our magic mulch over here is mulch, but it's got some compost blended in as well.
Oh, I heard about this when I was watching George. It's blended.
Yes.
So this is compost and mulch together.
Yes.
So if you're trying to improve your soil, this is like a real 1-2 punch right here, huh?
Really great stuff for trees. Yeah, it's give them some nutrition, some very slowly available and stuff that'll stay there.
Yeah, and so it's just a finer compost. Or mulch.
Exactly.
It doesn't have quite as many little
wood
pieces.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more of a soil-like feel and texture to it.
Soil-like feel.
Got our selection of plants out here. A little light right now as we're going into summer, but we still got quite a few things that are seasonally appropriate for planting. Then as we go into the store, we got various soil amendments, different kinds of fertilizers, different kinds of growth regulators like seaweed. Alfalfa is a great example. We got liquids, we got pest control stuff all over here, all organic or as safe as possible. Some more weed control over here, and just some basic fertilizers as well right here, and our seed collection.
Awesome. I see lots of products that I use every day.
Oh yes, we stand behind all this stuff, and more than happy to give you the info about how to use it and what to do with it and what the benefits are. It's hard to know when you look at a bag that says something like kelp meal or cottonseed meal and really know what the value is. But when you get more educated about the products, or you have somebody that's more educated about the products, they can actually explain to you the specific benefits of things.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you were inspired to come out and get some wonderful products here from Geo Growers. This is the basics. The very basics for a wonderful garden is your soil. And these people at Geo Gardens have been doing it for a long, long time, and they really know exactly what you need to build a great soil so your plants will do beautifully. This is for all plants, garden plants, vegetable plants, for perennials, for trees, for grass, whatever you're trying to grow. These people really know their stuff, and I hope I've been able to get that across in the video. So thank you so much, and I hope you'll come back and watch our videos another day.